we have to ask, perhaps, what do we seek? What do we expect to find? Do we find it? And if we find what we expect to find, have we found anything at all? What is seeking? Why do we seek? Who is the seeker? One thing is almost universally true. Unless we seek, we shall not find. To seek is to begin a journey that leads nowhere, because there is nowhere to go. To seek is to begin a journey a voyage of discovery, which may take us externally over great regions, much travel, or through many books, or through many meetings and encounters, dare I use the word? Involving much time, but this voyage of discovery is in essence traversing what and arriving where? One thing is for sure. It has nothing to do what is to be found, has nothing to do with the alimentary canal of human physiology as commonly experienced. What are we, human beings, doing to ourselves? When we fixate our capacity for cognition to an amazing degree on either end or both ends of the alimentary canal, and suffer the congestion that occurs between the extremes. I'm not being prudish. I'm not being puritanical. I'm merely pointing out what we have to discover has got nothing to do with the alimentary canal. Because the essence of a human being is not a component whose mechanism is the end-all and be-all of our existence. But what is to be discovered is not a thing at all. But an abundant potential that has no roots, that has no ambitions, and is unborn. It is unborn because it exists independent of time. And yet it relates to time. It relates to time in the sense that a ray of itself, as it were, congeals. And touches time. Congeals like a seed. Crystallizes. Enters time. And being then born into time, its journey begins to awaken from the containment of time into the realization of the timeless. These are words. What is the reality? Whatever the reality may be, It is knowable only as consciousness. So what has to be realized is consciousness. A movement away from our state, our common human state, of alimentary canal fixation, governed as it is by its own laws, into that which is beyond containment within any law. Here is a mystery. That when the uncontainable becomes contained, and when the prisoner has quested and has achieved a vision beyond the containing structure, then that containing structure not only ceases to contain, but that containing structure is itself transformed. That which at one time represented submergence and the abuse and the degradation of human potential into the alimentary canal state of sub-being, when the freedom is found, when the uncontainable is glimpsed, the vessel of containment itself is transmuted, or should be, could be and should be transmuted into a vessel fit for the birth of truth, for the expression of beauty, for the irradiation of wisdom, independent of words, independent of technique of any kind. A spontaneous flow that in itself is the ecstasy of life, that consciously or unconsciously all all breathing beings exist in order to comprehend, not within time, but beyond time. And here is the mystery. We, the structure of the reactive mind and its mechanism, are that which contains, that which debases, that which denies and destroys, that which seeks for release, that which discovers the timeless, that which is transformed, and ultimately is both the transformation, the transformer, and the benign infallibility that is beyond all these things. And yet, will place an overshadowing hand upon the individual being, upon the fallible structure, and will inject a congealed ray of its own nature into time. So that labouring nature will become the womb of new and limitless life. This is the paradox. And when we are that free perspective, but only when we are that free perspective, then we know that life is one, and ultimately all is well. And our destiny is not a journey, from the partial and the fragmented to infinity, but is an all-pervading state. That needs no geographical location, already is, and requires merely the lifting of our eyes from fixation on the limited and the fallible, to see and to hear the radiance that is true being, without limit. As it were, one could say, perhaps, the Jacob's ladder between the supreme, the boundless, and the corrupt and the failing organism, is our awareness of the rhythm of the breath. And as our awareness harmonizes with the implications of breath which reach to infinity, the perception of the angels ascending and descending, of resurrection and incarnation, becomes the bridge, the transmuted, transformed and inspired organism that is the true state of a human being. Linking the limited and the reactive mind with the Buddhic ultimate. And through knowledge of our breathing is perceived. The ascending of our limitations as an offering, as a sacrifice, to infinity, to the divine. And the absorption of that preposterous limitation into the fathomless love that awaits it. And that which prompts, invokes, inspires the beginning of our questing ascent is the fact of the ray of the measureless entering a vibration rate of limitation with such insistence that we, the fixed, the limited, the absurdly defensive, and the preposterously deluded will begin to raise our eyes, to lift our vision, to open our ears and all our senses, and cognize the beginning of our true state. The beginning is here and now. The beginning is the falling away of the obstructive overreaction to which we are habituated. And the refining of our perceptions, a fine-tuning of our instrument to a knowing of that which is already here and now. So, our way is no more than our vital attention to our own deeper state and the hearing of its meaning as the subtle ray seeks to inform our course. Like the star in the east, that must be followed by the wise. We are that star. We are also the limitation. We are also the breathing that interconnects the two. And we are the awareness that knows the motions and the flows, moving between levels of density. In order to see, we must be. To know more, we must become more. To become more, we must allow truth to become us. Here is the paradox. We do not seek truth. Truth is seeking us. We do not quest for the star. The star is questing for us. We do not seek freedom. Freedom is reaching out to us. We can be powered, we can be motivated, we can be moved and transmuted and transformed. Merely by ceasing to be. On the reactive level. And allowing truth to flow. For this is our destiny. To become the vessels of the living truth. And not the decorated sarcophagus of a deadly state. Leave the dead to bury the dead. Breathe and be free. Let the ecstasy innate in life find its fulfillment within our human condition. Then many words will have new meaning. We will know what is meant by peace. We will know what is meant by joy. We will know what is meant by beauty. And all these things are truth, the abundance, the ecstasy, the boundless, the dance of freedom. Yes, we are the reactive mind. Yes, we are the reactive states. But we are also the uncontainable. We are the children of a new dawn. And that dawn is imminent. If we would only allow the life potential to claim us. As its vessels. The lamp of its purposes. The torch of its witness. The balm of its benediction.